This week, Dan's back from the other side to tell us stories about being sick. We talk about Mr. Beast's burger and the 2020 YouTube Rewind. All this and more on this week's episode of the CC Mouse Podcast. Happy New Year, everybody! Hey, everybody. Before we get started, I just want to let you know that I'm still a little bit foggy brain, which you'll find out more in the podcast, and I did not remember to hit the record button on the video portion until about 7 minutes in. Ouch! I know, right? Way to start off the new year. But don't worry, about 7 minutes in, the video picks up. Until then, you'll have to listen to the audio while I'm subjecting you to videos of my cute cats. I hope everybody had a good new year. I hope you enjoyed the episode. And without further ado... Look, there was even more further ado. Enjoy the show, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of the CC Mouse Podcast. We're good for your ears. I'm Dan, and you can find me everywhere at RFS Dan.
And I'm Jess, and you can find me everywhere at Gone to the Snow Dogs and all the other places.
Oh, so smooth. Just three things.
I don't know what to say anymore because it's like Gone to the Snow Dogs and Snow Dogs Vlogs and Snow Dogs Shorts and Snow Dogs Cooking and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and Twitter.
You don't have to delete them, but you could just replace it. I think now you should probably, if I were you, I would promote my shorts and my TikTok because everybody knows us. We're not getting new people that don't know us.
Right.
And maybe some of them don't know that you have a TikTok and a Shorts channel, which are both doing well.
That is true. Yes, yeah.
Green arrows are up. Three things.
Yes.
First of all, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas!
Second of all, Happy Birthday.
Thank you.
Third of all, Happy New Year.
And we're all caught up.
Right. I have never had holiday pause more than the last 2.5 weeks of my life.
I think that it happened at the worst. I mean, not that there's ever a good time for it to happen, but really, Christmas?
Though it was the worst, best time.
The worst? It was the worst of times. It was the best of times.
Because if there's ever going to be a day to like miss work, like everybody's checked out. I don't know what you all are doing at home because nobody does because we're all supposed to be home, but it's, the world is kind of checked out. So it slipped under the radar. Like, don't worry about me, go watch Frosty the Snowman. But it sucked because it was a holiday. I'm not sure what the holiday would have been because now I'm like, cursed this Christmas, but would it have been a Christmas anyway? I don't know. The world's canceled.
Yeah. Christmas was definitely different this year. So for you, it just hasn't really happened yet. No,
and it sucked because we had never missed an episode in almost 2 years. And then I was thinking, because, we don't have it as bad as the Rose Parade. Rose Parade's been around for like 100 years, and they're finally missing a Rose Parade. So I'm like, what do I have to complain about? It would be awesome to have the streak alive, but like at least we could be like, oh, it was like crazy COVID times why we missed a few weeks. I did feel bad for a little bit, and then I fell asleep.
Yeah, and there are probably people listening that have no idea what we're talking about.
No. So that was a hook. So obviously the COVID's been going around.
Yeah.
Crystal comes home with it like a new dog. Look. It's a puppy! And I'm like, oh, I want to hold the puppy. And then, so I gotta watch what I say. So I'm really gonna be, oh no, I'm making jokes, but I gotta watch how I phrase this next part. So at Crystal's work, there's a bunch of dudes there that kind of follow the protocol, but sometimes they don't. And somebody came into the office. And, Crystal's got to, like, zap your head and make you sign in and stuff like that. Her area is highly hygienic because, Crystal's super OCD. Yes. Everything's wiped down. Don't breathe on me. But in the rest of the office, not so much that way. A customer came in with the COVIDs and gave it to one of the dudes there. And then the dude and Crystal were doing some sort of project. And then, so Crystal comes home. We do Dantics. The next day, she's like, I don't feel good. I'm like, whatever.
It was so crazy because, like, you guys did Dantics, and it was the next day. You messaged me, and you're like...
We're down with the sickness.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's impossible. You guys did, you did amazing the night before, and then that was it.
Dantics was so fun. That was my favorite thing I've done creatively was how much fun we had during the month of December on Dantics.
Yes.
That was so much fun. I was like, this is great. Like I had a lot of fun. So the next day, Crystal doesn't feel well. That Monday, Crystal's like, I'm not going to work. And I'm like, oh. And she's all like, yeah, not only that, I just found out that the other dude's got COVID. And then the dude who came in to talk to him is also got COVID. And I'm like, no way. And she's like, way. And I'm like, no way. And she's like, way. And I'm like, wow, I feel crummy too. This is all just like a few hours on Monday morning. We're like, Crystal felt crummy on Sunday night. And she's a lot like you. We're like no pain. Like she's not showing any pain.
I think, yeah, the even when you feel sick, you're going to push through it because you don't want to believe it.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, she's like, I don't feel good. I'm like, well, that's crazy. Okay, so then the next day, I call you and I'm like, I don't feel well. Crystal doesn't feel well, and the magic C word. And I don't know. We can't say we're gonna get demonetized. You messaged me when we were talking about it the other day. Like, don't mention the whole word because you're gonna get we'll get flagged.
We just call it the popular sickness.
Yes. So
and that's the thing. And actually, lately, it looks like YouTube videos have been using it and saying it and not getting... And it's not that we get flagged or demonetized. Well, I think some of the channels do get demonetized. What happens is YouTube puts a big banner underneath it that says, for more information here. And I do think some of the videos do get demonetized.
I think you're right.
It's because they don't want misinformation being spread. So, like, I totally get it. But at the same time, it's like, we kind of got to tiptoe around this. So it's the C word.
Right. So
which sounds bad.
From a work standpoint, YouTube and stuff like that isn't trying to champion the 2020 sickness videos.
Right.
So so it's okay. So I'm like, no way, this is crazy. And like part of you gets a little scared, even though you could die from anything, from any kind of sickness, you know, whenever you get a cold and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, I feel a little weird. So we made appointments to get tested. And there's a couple 100,000 people in our town. We're on the edge of LA County, so we're still in LA County. And the wait was like a day or two. So that was Monday. Wednesday, I had an appointment. Until then, it was just I felt like somebody put a brick on my head, and I was tired. I was like doped up tired.
Right.
Like, so like that 5 minutes before you fall asleep, where you're watching TV and everything just feels tingly and nice. It was like that. Right? So I laid on the couch, Crystal laid on the couch, complete blackout. Jess saved the day that week by posting other videos of me and logging in and posting stuff as me so you guys wouldn't forget me because I know you're all goldfish out there. Right? So we have appointments to get tested on Wednesday. Wednesday comes, we get tested. I'm like a little nervous. I get in the car. We go, it's like 2 miles up the street. We go through this thing, and the guy's there with this huge Gallagher Q-tip. And he's like, all right, everybody grab the kits and do this. And we're in the car, and you have to grab by the base. You have to grab by the base of the filter of what's going to go in your nose. And that's how much they want up your nose. I'm like, that's not much. I stuck it up there, and it was like in that like small part where like it reduces to like bone there.
Right.
And so I wiggle around twice, instant sneezing fit. More sneezes than I've ever sneezed in my life. Instant sneeze fit. So I have that, and everybody's laughing. There's a guy outside the car, because there's 2 cars, and the guy standing in the middle telling us what to do. And then I do it to the other nose, maybe like 5 or 6 times. You're supposed to do 10 times around, but I'm like, fine, I think there's stuff on here. I put it in a thing. You know, I give it to the guy. The guy's more than he should be excited to take it. I go home. They say 3 days. Here's the problem. Like, this Wednesday, Christmas Eve is the next night.
Yep.
We've already canceled Christmas plans because we can put 2 and 2 together.
Right. It was pretty and even at that, even if it wasn't that, it was smart to cancel because, you know, you were sick.
Right. How many of you guys are in the store with your masks on and you try to clear your throat and you're like looking around to see if anybody's about to like take you out. So I'm like, oh man. So I come home and I feel like just burnt. I'm burnt, but I'm not like out of it like you see on TV.
Right.
Because, you know, they show you all the crazy stuff on TV. So, you know, Wednesday night comes, I don't know, was it Thursday night? Maybe, whatever. Thursday night comes and I look and they text you your results. Isn't that crazy, people of the future? You know, I'm getting text messages. And I bring it up. I enter all the hoops that they want you to jump through. And it says, Dan, you're COVID negative. And I'm like, okay. I also see that there's a 30% false positive rate. So maybe one of 2 things. I'm a sissy, which that's debatable anyway. or the tests were on. Crystal hasn't gotten hers back yet. Because when they were taking them from us, they were throwing them into like a big old barrel.
Right.
Everything's sealed and sealed again. And
Right.
then, so, who knows when they grabbed hers. And then she got hers like an hour later. By the time I got out of the shower, not feeling well, she's like, I'm positive. So 2 things happened. One, either I got a false positive, which her and I have the same symptoms. Like it feels different than any other sickness you've had before. Or 2, I'm a liar. So Crystal won't let it die.
Or 3, you could be a sympathizer.
Oh, right. Sometimes I do get cramps.
See?
So I'm like, this is crazy. Jess and I had just had a conversation a few days before about headaches and how I don't get headaches.
Yeah.
It's just it's just the worst headache I've ever had in my life. I'm like, this is the worst headache ever. So Crystal just makes fun of me and calling me a faker for the next week and a half because it said false on mine, which I'm kind of sad. Like, I'm a little bit bummed out. Like, hey, man, like, I have the sickness. At least give me my accolades,
Right? I want my certificate.
Right. So we proceed to lay on the couch for a bunch of days after that. We proceed to lay on the couch and just do nothing. We cancel Christmas. Blake can't come over. Crystal's mom can't come over. She was going to come over on New Year's Day. We were going to make lasagna because that's what they do together every New Year's. We were going to go out to our friend's house and like, hey, we're here, and exchange the little gifts and stuff like that.
Right.
Nothing at all happened. Mouse, get out of there. I was trying to sneakily text Blake to tell him to come get Mouse out of the turtle tank, but he's out now.
Did you forget to hit record on the video?
Yeah, why?
Because I noticed you hit it, and I was surprised you didn't restart.
No, I was going to probably just I was going to interrupt our flow, and I was probably just going to put the audio with something else, like oops in front for the first 5 minutes, but I couldn't start it over.
Yeah, that was kind of how I felt too. I'm like, oh, we can't start over.
No, I forgot to hit record. I'm sorry. I'll figure out how to make
You
that
need to
work.
make a clip. You need to make a clip on your own at the end of this when you record the intro, and so record the intro, and at the end of the intro, you can say something about still having fog brain, and here's what happened, and then roll into it.
And then for in payment, I'll give you guys dreamy eyes.
There you go.
Until it's done. I'll wait with you
go.
guys. We'll listen to it together. We'll laugh at it.
So you were talking about how you were negative,
Yes.
and Crystal was positive.
Right.
So my cousin also is down with the sickness, and the crazy thing is clueless to where they got it. They don't go anywhere. He's working from home, like no idea where he got it from. Mm-hmm. His doctor actually told him most likely from a grocery store because they don't know where else he could have got it from. But he doesn't go to the grocery store. My cousin has discovered that his lifestyle choice is called social distancing. Like that's just his lifestyle choice. But he tested positive and his wife tested negative. And then a few days later, she went and got another test because she kept feeling sick. And that test said she was positive. So
weird.
I don't think you're a faker. I don't think you're a liar. I don't think you're a sympathizer. I think you either did the test wrong, because I also was reading that a lot of times when people, and I'm not saying you did it wrong.
I could have, because I sneezed and then I was like, but it's up there. You got it.
Yeah. So there's a lot of people are saying that with the test, part of the error within the test has to do with you're supposed to like stick it straight back, not up, and like they're supposed to give you these explicit instructions.
I felt like it should have gone further. I felt like it should have gone a little bit further in there to where he had me grab. It wasn't long. I didn't feel like I poked my brain. For the next hour, I sneezed. But you're correct. You're correct.
So like I said, I don't think that you're a faker. I think that the test was just wrong. But I think if you would have gone back and done it again, or had somebody else do it, I bet it would have came back with different results. But I just thought that was interesting that they same thing. He was positive, she was negative, and then she went in to get another test because she still felt horrible. And so they're both positive. Yeah, we live together. And they're both doing okay.
Yeah. Oh, and that's good. That's good. It felt weird. It felt like a sickness I've never felt before ever.
Right.
But with the same things you've already had. It was insane headache. Like I could almost not lift up my neck because it hurt. And then like 2 days later, I could feel it in my chest, like the vibration. Yeah. Then I got scared. I got scared because this is what you see on TV. There it goes.
Right.
I got the black lung pop, and then I'm toasted. I'm toasterinos. And then so the next morning, it kind of like, even now I can hear it in my chest, but it hasn't gotten any worse. But man, this is one lazy sickness. It's slow. It makes you slow. No taste and smell. Let me tell you guys about no taste and smell. I know you guys have had no taste and smell in your life. No, you haven't. Nope. No, you haven't. Nothing smells, right? And nothing tastes like anything, right? So then you start having mind mess ups. Does this sandwich taste what I think I know a sandwich tastes like? Because right now, everybody close your eyes and imagine pizza. Although you can't get the sensation when you swallow, you know what pizza tastes like.
Right.
So I'm eating a sandwich and it's like, am I tasting this? Am I not? I can't smell anything, and neither can Crystal. So eating everything was really bland, except for I would just have fond memories of what I was eating, and then that would help.
Remember what that tastes like?
Yeah, right. That would help. No smell at all. To the point where I tried to open up a can of SpaghettiOs the other day, and I was eating a can of SpaghettiOs, cold, yes, cold, and it didn't taste like anything, and it felt like I was eating pasta that had been boiled and then nothing else.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do it. Can was gone. So that really changed my texture. It changed the way I looked at SpaghettiOs. So I knew it was bad news. And then all we were doing was like, oh, what do we want to make for dinner? What's it matter? I might as well eat cardboard. The only thing you can do is you can feel the sensation of carbonation. Right. So I'm like, yes. And I put so much hot sauce and so much flavoring on all my stuff, I could feel the tingles. Ben and Jerry's ice cream tastes the way it does because the one guy does not have any taste or smell buds or whatever, like that. They're like fading. So they have to put so much more flavor into the ice cream so he can taste it. That's what we did. We Ben and Jerry'd everything. I used all the pepper. I used all the garlic. So
you're just eating seasoning.
Right. Pretty much. So that's pretty much what it was. And it was just a lot of like laying down. The first week I was okay. Like I watched TV, I watched movies, I watched a bunch of stuff. The Marvelous Miss Maisel's the best. I watched Die Hard. Yes, it's a Christmas movie. I watched a lot of things. And you just lay there and you just feel crummy. I didn't want to Instagram. I didn't want to Facebook. I couldn't do anything. No food review videos.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I offered to step in for your food review videos. I have Doritos pickles here. We were trying to figure out, like, it was so crazy because, like, there was a part of me that, I mean, you know how my brain works. So there was a part of me that, like, I felt bad that you were sick. And then there's the other part of me that's like, I know how the algorithm works. And I know how we can't not upload. We have to do something. And I'm like, how do we do this? And I told Jamie, I'm like, maybe we could just make the video. And he's like, tell him we'll make a video. Tell him we'll do. I'm like, okay.
That was so nice. You guys are so awesome. That'd be so crazy if you did. You said that. I'm like, oh, thanks. But now that I think about it, I'm like, man, I should have made you do that because those would have been great videos. I was just like, oh, thanks. And then,
right. Jamie and I were going to podcast at one point in time. And then we thought last week that you were actually going to be able to because I think we talked about it and you were like, we'll do it tomorrow morning. And then you were still.
No, you'd get little bursts of energy and then nothing. You would lay on the couch and the next thing you know, nothing. So I don't sleep in and like I'm up. I'm up with like a light switch, you know. It's like boom, up time to be up. It's noon, it's 1:00 p.m. and I am out. And it didn't even feel good because I'm not a sleeper. You were just out and you'd wake up and next thing you know it's dark out. So it was just a 2-week blur of not feeling good. No matter what I took as far as like symptom relievers, like any kind of like
cold medicine, Mucinex and all that. Yeah.
Nope. It was just major headaches and then I was down and out. So thank you so much for the well wishes. Lots of well wishes. So now we're on day 14, 15, 16, 15. We're on day 15. I did a couple live streams over the weekend. I started feeling a little better. By the end of the live stream, we were done.
Right.
I felt okay yesterday. I did a food review video. I'm toasted today. Look at me. Look at my eye. I'm done.
Yeah. I could tell even like when we first started, we kind of talked about it a little bit. It was like, do we want to do this? Do you want to wait one more day? No. Like, I mean, we got to get this stuff back up here, but
I'm okay.
You're right. You're alive.
I can hug Memphis.
You're alive.
My cuddle bug shirt.
My little sick Memphis.
Oh yeah. Okay, so because I want to talk about that. So let me wrap that up. Crystal and her whole office shut down for 2 weeks. They still can't sort it. There's problem. They still can't sort it, which there's no blueprint to go off of. So some people are taking it more serious than others and stuff. So she's dealing with that mess. She's feeling better. When she came home from work yesterday, she was smoked. She was done. Today, she said she feels a little bit better, so that's good.
Right.
But I imagine this sticking with me off and on for a while.
Yeah, that's they say that like 50% of people that get it, they have the tired symptoms and stuff for quite a while after. So
I'm tired and it's a brick on my head.
That's the biggest thing. I think, you just got to make sure not to overdo yourself. And then the other thing is keep taking your vitamins. Vitamin D. Go outside.
Get the vitamins, go outside, be in the sun, take all the vitamins, read all the stuff that people suggest you do, because there's an overlap, and then do the overlap of stuff. So that helped. Taking the stuffs helped. It did help. And we'll be okay.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I'm just, lethargic. Animals don't really get it. Like, Memphis is okay, right?
Memphis does not have it. That's not what she has. That's not what she has.
So, what was up with Memphis yesterday? I mean, I know, but like, what was up with Memphis yesterday?
So she was not feeling good. So what was yesterday? Monday. So it would have been Sunday morning. Sunday morning, she got up and she went outside to do her, thing that dogs do outside, and she was not having a good time. And that pretty much lasted all day Sunday. Every time she would go out, you could just tell she was having issues going to the bathroom, and she wasn't a very happy puppy. But at the same time, she was a very happy dog. She wanted to treat, she wanted to play, she wanted to do all of her normal things. She wasn't lethargic or anything. So I thought, well, sometimes dogs, just like people, can eat something that can upset their stomach. And I'm like, maybe she ate something, or maybe we fed her something. Because, she gets everything we eat, because how can you say no to her? Right. So Sunday night, we went to bed. And it was like 1 o'clock in the morning when we went to bed. And at like 2:30, I got woke up. Memphis is really good when she has to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. She's really good at holding it and waking you up. And usually the waking you up is she will come in and she will get right in my face, or she will jump on the bed and off the bed, because she makes a loud noise when she jumps off the bed. So she'll jump on the bed, off the bed, and then come and look at me like, hey, did you hear me?
And that's the routine.
Yes, and she's really good at it. Like, she, out of all the dogs we've ever had, is really good at waking me up when she has to go outside. So she did that a couple times before I realized, she has to go outside. So I don't know what time it was. It was like, we went to bed at 1, so it was probably like 2 or 3 in the morning when she first woke me up. So we went, and I let her outside, and I stand there, and I wait for her, because she'll go outside and go to the bathroom, and she'll want right back in. Memphis doesn't like to stay outside like Kira. Kira gets really confused, and she'll stay in bed unless I'm out of bed for a few minutes, and then she'll walk down the hallway and look at me like, what are you doing? We're supposed to be sleeping. And she wants nothing to do with going outside. It's so funny, because she always wants out. But she just gives me this look like, are you nuts? Like, go back to bed. And she'll walk back down the hallway. So anyway, let Memphis out. I could tell she was still having issues. She comes back in, we go to bed. It was not even 30 minutes. Memphis is awake again. And I'm like, oh no, this is going to be an all night thing. So all night, twice an hour. Once it was 3 times in an hour. I don't think I slept. I think 4 hours and 12 minutes was what my Fitbit said, but that was total for the whole night. So that wasn't like straight. The whole thing was like red and blue because I was awake. So, in the morning I was really out of it, and I'm like, man, I should probably call the vet. And then I think I messaged you guys. I think I messaged you or Steve or somebody, because somebody was like, you should call the vet. And I'm like, yeah, I should call the vet. And now that I'm more awake, yeah, I really should. So I did. I ended up calling the vet, took her into the vet. I told him what was happening, took her into the vet, and they tested they tested her, and they said she has a elevated bacteria in her digestive tract, which means
English.
She's got the poops.
Oh, right. Oh, been there. High five, Memphis.
Right. So she it can be caused by a lot of things. We don't know what caused it. Could have been something she ate. Could have been something she got into outside, which probably not, because she doesn't really hang out outside. We don't really know what it is. But they gave her some probiotics and some antibiotics to help level out this gut bacteria. Because I guess the issue is once their gut bacteria gets off, it'll keep creating bacteria. Sometimes it'll just go away on its own. And sometimes the bacteria will keep creating more bacteria, and then she'll have like inflamed, her digestive tract can become inflamed. She can get pancreatitis. It can turn into something worse than what it is.
Right.
If we can't get it under control. So they gave me antibiotics and probiotics, and she's not lethargic or anything. She's still, man, the doorbell rings and she's running to the door, and, you know, you touch that treat jar, she's right there. Everything else is normal. Today, she's been a lot better than yesterday. Like, she hasn't needed to go outside every hour on the hour. She slept all night last night, but I think she was exhausted last night. So she's doing, she's literally laying right, you guys can't see her, but she's right here at my feet.
Right. Yeah. Has she been okay since then?
Yeah, she's been doing really good. She did, after we got home from the vet yesterday, she was so happy. I didn't get to go inside, which really pissed me off. And I get it, but I don't like letting them go in there by themselves. I just don't. Right. It's a horrifying feeling. I don't like it. And for God's sake, it's a vet's office. Okay, we're all going to be safe in there. But they took her in by herself, and then when the tech brought her back out, she's like, she is the sweetest dog. I'm like, yeah, she is. When the vet called me, it was not our normal vet that she saw, because we went in on like not an emergency visit, but they have walk-ins during the day. So we didn't get to see Dr. Danielle, who knows Memphis very well. That was my other thing. Memphis was going in to see somebody she'd never met. So, which Memphis loves everybody, but it was me that was more concerned. Dr. Lewis is who it was. When Dr. Lewis called me to tell me all the things, she's like, I haven't met Memphis yet. And I'm like, oh, yeah. I'm like, did she fall down on the floor in front of you and want her belly scratched? She goes, that's all she wanted. She's like, she wanted just to lean up against me, and she wanted her belly scratched. And then as soon as you stopped, she was very upset that you stopped. And I'm like, yeah, that's Memphis.
So much different than cats. When they have to go to the vet, she's like, no, get me out of here.
Oh, Memphis absolutely loves going to the vet. And she's people deprived right now because of COVID. So she's people deprived. So this was like a vacation for her. She thought it was great. So she came home yesterday from there pretty exhausted. But she got pets from everybody. And now, like I said, now she's fine. She's laying here upside down, belly up. She's sleeping, but now she's fine. But that was fun. First of the year.
That was fun. Yeah, and that's what you said. Yay, 2021!
Yay! But no, she's doing good, and she's it just, like I said, it was just, I was so tired, and then my brain was like, oh yeah, you probably should call. Which I'm sure I would have figured out on my own eventually. I just was not awake when I was talking to everybody.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad she's doing better.
Yeah, me too. She's a good girl.
A snoring mooch over here. You guys can't see him, but he's laying on his cat bed and he's over here snoring. No, the logo's blocking. So if you guys hear snoring, it's not me wheezing. Well, we'll feel better, Memphis.
Yeah, feel better, Memphis. She's asleep.
I guess that's it, Jess. Now it's now. I have not done Christmas yet. I think that'll happen this Sunday. We'll try to celebrate Christmas, which I think I might have told this story before. So I had my Christmas tree and I threw it away on Christmas Day. I'll tell this one fast. So Christmas is on a Friday. We were going to celebrate Christmas. We're sick. The Christmas tree was finally dying. It served its time on Dantix. It was a lot of fun. It is dropping pine needles at an alarming rate. I'm like, I'm just going to put it in the trash so it doesn't have to wait a week. So when there's a holiday on trash day on Friday, trash comes Saturday. So I pull up into the driveway. I pull my car off the side of the driveway so I can get the trash cans out and stuff like that.
Right.
And when I'm out there, I notice the neighbors are out there and they're all dressed in flannel pajamas that all look like Christmas matchy and stuff. And they're out there and I take all the stuff off the tree and I go to take the tree out and they're all out there and they're all looking around and I feel bad. It's like, Daddy, what's wrong with them? You know, why are they throwing the tree out on Christmas Day? The holiday's not even over yet. And I'm going to be like, see them people? Those people have no soul. I didn't want to ruin the kids' Christmas. So I hide the tree around the corner in my house in the backyard. And then later on at night, I shove it into the green waste trash can. Right. Then I take the green waste trash can out there and hide it at night when it's all dark on Christmas in between two of the bigger trash cans. One that's recyclables and one that just has regular trash in it. And then the next morning, I woke up like it was Christmas morning and ran over to Blake's window to look out his window because he was not here. He wasn't here for any of this stuff.
Right.
He's dodged every COVID thing. He's been so lucky. So I look out the window and they took the tree and I was so stoked. But I felt embarrassed because I didn't want everybody to drive by outside and be like, man, that's a broken home right there. Throwing away their Christmas tree on Christmas Day. That's like having a birthday party with me starting to pack up the happy birthday banner at noon.
Right.
It's like it's not over yet. So I did throw away my Christmas tree on Christmas Day, Jess.
That feeling you have, though, that's how I feel about people that the day after Christmas rip all their Christmas decorations down. I'm like, why?
Don't you love it?
The day after Christmas, they're like, everything down and it has to go away. We have to clean the house and it all has to be put back. And I'm always like, why? The holiday was yesterday. Can you not, like, just relax for a day? I am still under the belief that a Christmas tree, no matter what, should stay up
after New Year
until after New Year's.
I
then
agree.
take it down.
I agree, Jess. This was a
I feel like that's
situation.
the holiday season. I know your situation was different, but I just like that's that feeling that you have. That's how I feel when I see people on Facebook the next day like trees all down. I ripped it all to pieces and threw it back in the box. I'm like, why do you even have a tree to have it up for 10 days and then it's gone?
I was so embarrassed, Jess.
My tree
and
is
I love
still
my
up.
tree. See, and that's fine. And I wanted my tree to last until afterwards. We live in a town of zero humidity.
Yeah, I
Zero.
remember that. Yeah,
I fed that thing. I had my ALEXA remind me every day at noon. I was on it. I put that sugary stuff in it. It lasted longer than I've had any tree last ever, and it was just done. And I didn't want to keep it around on Christmas, for another week.
I think you would be beneficial if you had an artificial tree and then got a small real tree. You can buy at Home Depot real trees that are in like a pot of dirt.
Yes.
So they actually last longer, but you still have the Christmas tree smell. So you buy the little tree that sits like on your counter or on your table. So you still have the Christmas tree smell. And then you have an artificial tree that stays up because then you have it up longer.
I think I like that. I like that better. I loved it for Dantix because I answered trivia questions out of the tree. That's the one thing that I wanted. I was like, I just want to answer trivia questions out of my tree. So I don't mind getting a fake tree for that and having a little tree in the corner. So I might change it up next year. There was really nowhere to put this tree, and it was just always moving around. Mouse loved it. He enjoyed it, but I threw it away. Otherwise, I was gonna have to keep it for another week, actually 2 weeks, because they're only doing every other week pickup now for garbage because all the companies are poor.
Right.
So I had to do it, everybody. I had to throw away my Christmas tree on Christmas Day. Embarrassed, like this. Embarrassed. So embarrassing, Jess. So embarrassing. And then we'll breeze by New Year's. We had fun on New Year's. We had a New Year's live stream at RFS Dan here on the YouTube page, and that was fun. And that was pretty much your New Year's too. We just all kind of just hung out. Yeah,
we weren't doing anything for New Year's. Ours was the next our New Year's gathering, I guess. Wasn't really a gathering. It was, because we have, 2 friends that come over every other week. So it was the same thing. It was like, oh, well, we're just going to do game night New Year's. So that's what we did.
We hung out with you guys. Person. I never would go out to parties or anything. I don't think I've ever really been out of the house on New Year's ever, really. I usually just stay home. It's Eric's wife's birthday is New Year's Eve. Mm-hmm.
So there've been a few years where for New Year's Eve we've gone to their house, and it's like a big birthday party, New Year's Eve party.
That's cool. It's like fun. Yeah.
Yeah, we've done that a few times, but like it's never been a let's go out to the bar or anything. We've done fireworks on New Year's Eve before.
That's fun.
I have
never gone to a place.
Yeah, there was a lot of people in our neighborhood that was doing fireworks on New Year's Eve. It was kind of crazy.
Gosh, it popped off here. It wasn't as bad as 4th of July, but it popped off. I live here.
Right.
I live here. Blake lives.
You do.
Blake's mom's house is like maybe 2 miles from here, and we were texting, and it was just everywhere. It was everywhere for like an hour, and then it stopped.
Yeah.
It didn't go all night like 4th of July, which was the craziest thing I had ever experienced in my life. And then boom, 2021. I didn't watch any of the craptastic stuff on television because we were live streaming.
I didn't watch any of it either.
I did see that Times Square was empty.
We watched the ball drop, the last 30 seconds of it, because like we always do. So like I turned that on and we walked out there and we watched that for 30 seconds. It was weird. It was so
empty.
It was so Yeah, it was so dead. It was so
like
weird.
just lifeless, or we all knew that like
They had
it's
lots of those.
not fake, but it's like nobody's there to cheer. There's no energy there.
Yeah, they had lots of those wacky, waveable, arm flailing tube mans.
Oh my gosh,
down there.
I seen one that's so small that you can put in your hand.
Yes.
Have you seen those? That's so cute. That is so cute. And then now quickly the year of hit and miss has been swept under the rug.
Yep.
We had good stuff, lots of good stuff that happened.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of that, Mr. Beast. Oh my god. Okay, hold on. We'll talk about Mr. Beast's rewind because he did the rewind.
Mr. Beast
He did the
do
rewind.
He
but he
pulled it
also
off.
did. He also did something else where he made this Mr. Beast burger. And this happened like right before I got sick. This happened.
Yes.
Where Mr. Beast had an app, and I downloaded the app, and then all I did was check to see if it was in my area, and it was like an hour and a half away down, like way in LA, like so. And the wait
Apparently
times were
they've
crazy.
expanded since then, so you might want to check again. But.
So what? I'm sorry, there's cats running around. So what's the details? Let us know what happened.
Mr. Beast basically opened a restaurant, multiple of them all over the place, but he didn't really open a restaurant. Okay, so he opened a restaurant for the one video he did, but basically he just took over somebody else's restaurant. That's pretty much what Mr. Beast Burger is. Okay. He contacted a bunch of restaurants all over the country to make the Mr. Beast Burger, and there's like a chicken sandwich and there's fries made a certain way. So it's not a Mr. Beast restaurant. It would be like the deli saying, oh yeah, we can make all those things.
Right.
And then people order it through that app. That order is sent to my restaurant. We make it and take it to the people that ordered it, or DoorDash or whoever comes and gets it and takes it to the people that ordered it. So you're kind of like white labeling a restaurant. I don't know how many of you know what white labeling, but
right. It's got your like stamp on it. Yeah,
so like I can have my own merchandise store where everything comes to you guys and it looks like I printed it with invoices with, the company address on it and all of those things, when in reality, everything is actually being printed by Spreadshirt, shipped out by Spreadshirt, and I'm not doing anything. That's called a white label. You're just, you think that it's all me, but really it's this other company that's actually doing all the work. That's the same thing with the Mr. Beast Burger.
Right.
Yeah, yes, yep.
So in that case, does that mean some of these burgers may vary?
Yes. Okay. A lot.
And he's doing it for a gimmick. He's doing it for a gimmick, but he's also showing a billion people a new game plan.
Yeah, he was doing it, and I think most of the money was going to charity, or a lot of the money was going to charity. Like, it's marketing.
It's new marketing.
It's new marketing. And this doing food and makeup is these influencer, and I'm going to use the word influencer. These influencer things are starting to become very popular. Influencer meals where they're like, oh, we're going to work with this restaurant, and if you want to get...
McDonald's did it.
McDonald's did it. There's other places that have started doing it now as well. There's makeup companies that are doing the same thing. There's a lot of influencers out there right now that are coming up with their own makeup palettes, where in reality, it's the same palette. They just changed the names and the cover of it. But it's the same company that makes every single one. Right, exactly.
Yep, new marketing.
It's kind of the same type of thing. So Mr. Beast did this, and everybody was just, this is genius, and it's such a great idea. I thought it was a really great idea.
I think it's a great idea, too.
Well, and then I went on his Twitter, and I was like scrolling through his Twitter, which I'll send you some pictures that you can insert here.
This sounds like I'm not going to like this.
Yeah, so I went on his Twitter, and because he's white labeling these, and he has no control over these restaurants, he has no control over any of it. Right. He has no, and these restaurants got hit. Some of the people waited like 3 to 4 hours to get food. Some people's food never showed up.
And that's what kept me from driving down there and trying to order it, because I had no address or anything. And then I sit there for 6 hours?
Yeah. So a lot of people were getting raw chicken sandwiches and raw hamburgers and cold food and really gross food. And it
I did not see any of the bad stuff. I only saw like David Dobrik getting it and like stuff like that. Like, he had influencers getting it.
Yes. And like I said, a lot of people were really upset because they were mad at Mr. Beast, when in reality, so part of the fault lays on him because he has no control. He's not there behind the scenes as the manager being like, you're doing this wrong and do it this way. And, every single McDonald's operates the exact same way. They have a standard operating procedure. Everything is done the same way. The fries are cooked for 4 minutes. The burgers are cooked for 30 seconds. They're all cooked in the same way. They're held the same way. At a certain amount of time, that gets thrown out if it doesn't get sold. It is exactly the same at every single McDonald's, no matter where you go, which is why when you eat at McDonald's in Michigan and you eat at McDonald's in wherever, California, it tastes exactly the same. Down to their pop. Tastes the same because they use the exact same filtering system to filter their water that goes into their machines is used at every single store. Okay. So they have control. Mr. Beast has no control, none whatsoever. How long do you cook this? How long, what is this chicken sandwich breaded with? The only control he had was this is what it should be topped with. This is what it should be. That's it.
Right.
But if you're outsourcing this to restaurants who, I don't know how to say this in a nice way. Some of them right now are desperate. Because they're, my family owns a restaurant right now with everything that's going on. Restaurants are being hit insanely hard, especially in states where there's no indoor eating and there's takeout only. So these people are suffering. So for them to say, hey, we want you to make this and sell it. Well, yeah, we'll do that. But have you looked into this restaurant? Are they, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's not like he flew around to every single one of these places.
There was a lot. There was over like 100 locations.
Yes. And it's not like he went to every one that he had do the Mr. Beast burger and was like, I want to check out your kitchen. I want to know what your standard operating procedures are. I want to know how many times you require your employees to wash their hands a day. I want to know, how do you store your food? How do you, he has no idea. So as a person whose family owns a restaurant, there was a part of me that when I started seeing the people talking about the raw burgers and the raw chicken, that's scary. So, I think it's a really cool idea, but I think he might get backlash. Or he did get some backlash on Twitter, but I don't think he's gotten backlash in the media and things like that.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah, I don't think there's been a big, I don't think a lot of people have been talking about it. Because again, not everybody got bad food, but enough people on that Twitter feed that I was looking at got bad food enough for me to go, wow, that's a problem. That's a problem.
Yeah, I want to check this out. And he's doing something nobody's ever done before. This is a whole new marketing. Because imagine this, everybody. Imagine in 10 years from now when they have this figured out, Jess can go on an app and make a Gone to the Snow dog. And it could be her hot dog the way she likes it. And it could be offered at 40, 50, 100, 200 different places where they will put that on your menu next to whatever else they sell, as long as they know that X, Y, and Z needs to go to it. And you could go and get your specific, a Gone to the Snow dog from these places. Right. That sounds amazing. You guys want a Dan burger, right? With cold SpaghettiOs inside there. It would be great. So, but now, look what has to go. Look what has to go into it. And I always love Jimmy for pushing the edge of what you can do with when you realize the world is just stupid and it's all money. If you have unlimited money or unlimited things, look at all the crazy things you can do. And I love that. This is another one. That's insane. I could have gotten a Mr. Beast burger if I played my cards right. And it was a Mr. Beast packaging. They had stickers and stuff on it and stuff. So they sent all that stuff out to those restaurants and things like that. So there was definitely formalities involved. But I think that when it went out, the restaurants got hit really hard and were trying to push out more food, which caused them to. Some of the food was cold, some of the food was undercooked because crazy. Grills, if you cook on a grill, grills do drop in temperature when you're constantly putting food on there. They do drop in temperature. Oh, really? So you have to wait for it to come back?
It depends on the amount of stuff you're cooking. It really does, and it depends on how good your equipment is. If you're cooking on a really big, nice grill and you can cook a whole bunch of stuff at a time, you're not going to have to worry about it as much. But everything should still be temperature tested. There's procedures that I just.
But he's relying on these people to be professionals because it's I could just imagine you guys at the deli. Your brother would go nuts at lunchtime if he had to fill all those orders.
Oh my gosh, it was nuts today. I got to go there today because it was so busy. Yeah, it was nuts.
Is it like riding a bike?
It is like riding a bike, pretty much. I did deliveries today because that's what they were backed up on. There was just not enough people to take the food as they were getting food made, and my dad was out on deliveries, and my brother was taking deliveries, and I walked in, and he looked at me, and I went, what do you want me to do? And he's like, delivery? I'm like, tell me where to go. So my dad and I were like crossing paths, grabbing food, taking food, going. It was nuts. It was.
I would do deliveries.
When I got there, the counter behind the deli was full of orders, ready to go.
Good. What a
and
good
they were
problem to have.
making more food. So, oh yeah, very good problem they had. They had a very good day today. They were closed from from Christmas Eve until they reopened Monday.
Okay, so they had
closed
a
for
little bit
that.
of time off.
They closed for that week, that blur week in between Christmas and New Year's.
That's such a
They
blur
just
week.
closed. Well, and they closed because in the history of the deli, that's always been a very slow week. So why
For
not just
everybody,
close?
the history of everybody.
Yep. So they just closed and decided we're going to spend a week at home with our family and we'll reopen them. So they reopened yesterday, but today they were insane.
That's good. I'm good. I'm glad. I always worry about the deli.
Yeah, me too.
I always worry about the deli. Our friend Terry, they shut down her work the other day too. Like, oh, we're gonna be closed for like 2 weeks. We'll see what happens after that. And it's like, sure, that's scary for Terry, but like these business owners, like they're the ones that are closing down. That's crazy.
Our little town has lost multiple restaurants, and we don't have that many. You've been here. There's not a whole lot of places
There's
here.
not a whole lot. There's definitely room.
Janar's closed for good. They've been here 32 years, and family-owned restaurant.
Crazy.
And they closed. Our Big Boy closed finally.
Are you serious?
We don't know if it's for good. So
But
right
for
now you can't do indoor dining. They reopened indoor dining and then they closed it just before the holidays, which is really it's going to destroy a lot of restaurants. So Big Boy did takeout only again, which they had done before, but I think it was Christmas Eve, they said we're closing until we can reopen with indoor dining. We can't survive with takeout. Okay. So hopefully they'll reopen, but if on January 16th the governor decides to extend the shutdown on indoor dining, there are a lot of these places that aren't going to make it. They're they're not.
It's easy right now just to be like, we're just going to stay shut. You guys don't not you guys don't realize, but people don't realize how much overhead.
Restaurants have a massive amount of
how
overhead.
much it costs to just turn on the lights and the grill and stuff.
And then the other thing is like, you have all this food. So you have all this inventory and this food cost. And if like we knew we were closing for Christmas Eve for that week. So we literally, those 3 days we were open, sold out of everything we could. When it was gone, it was gone. And we just told people, we're going to be down for a week. So, and then anything that was left, we gave to the employees, or my brother took it home, or he brought us food from the deli. He was like, this is the stuff that we can't serve. So then when you go back in, it's all new stuff again. But a lot of people don't realize how much overhead goes into restaurants. Most restaurants, I should say, don't have a real big, I don't know what it is, the word that like your revenue. You don't make as much money as you would think.
You don't. You end up with $3-4 grand at the end of the day, and then you realize that it's $1,500 for me to open it up. Plus, I'm only still making 40% profit on this because I still had to buy that stuff. And at the end, you still only come out with a pinch. Even on a good day at the bike shop, you still barely come out ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the hard part. And I think that's, the Thunder Bay River restaurant closed. We've lost a few already. A couple of the small pizza places closed. We had one that just reopened. He got a different location, but they're, it's like anything else. They're hurt. In our area of everything, the restaurants have been hit the hardest. Yeah. And it's because they closed indoor dining, and we can have outdoor dining. It's 20 degrees outside.
Oh, you can't have outdoor dining. We have outdoor dining, and it is ridiculous. It's unsafe. Yeah. It's up against the road. Whenever I drive by it, I peek at all the outdoor dining we have here in California. Never more than 2-3 people out there sitting. Yeah. It's sad. It's sad and unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. It is. And like I said, the deli's hanging in there. We're holding our own. We cut our hours. We did a lot of things smart. We cut our hours back by 2 hours a day, so that's 2 hours less we have to pay people. My brother goes in early. He's not working less, but everybody else is.
Yeah, he don't get that luxury.
Right. He's goes in
find
and
a way to mitigate it.
Right. He prepares things and makes sure that at 10 o'clock they are ready to roll. So at 10 o'clock they open and then they close at 2, which I was there till almost 2 o'clock today. And you are cracking until you shut that door. And, we could stay open till 3 still, but now we got to pay another employee to be there. And you look at how much money you make in between 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock. 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock at a restaurant is really a down time. So you start figuring all that in and you go, yeah, well, today we might do good, but most days on average, you don't make enough during that time. So we've made smart moves, but we're holding our own.
It's not my business. You guys have a lot of employees. Out here, like our subways and stuff, from 6 to 10 o'clock at night, and I hate it. So dangerous.
That's
person,
ridiculous.
One person out here for the subways. One person. I've never worked, even when I worked at NASA, I never worked a job where we were staffed correctly. You guys have good staff. But you guys have all good people, so
yes, we have some
people.
amazing people.
Who knows? Maybe soon, you guys will be doing Mr. Beast burgers.
Maybe. I promise it won't be raw.
What was it? It was like burger, chicken burger, and taco or something, or
fries. They did fries, and you could get like loaded fries or something.
Okay.
So it was kind of, like I said, it was neat. It was not available anywhere around me.
So I have another thing here, Mr. Beast Rewind, like we were going to talk about. Let's talk about that, because YouTube announced that there was going to be no YouTube Rewind, which, that statement hurt more than us actually wanting to rewind, because they don't give us good rewinds at all.
Right.
They don't give us good rewinds. I think even PewDiePie took it upon himself to make a rewind one year.
Yeah, he did.
And so YouTube just is, even though all the games are played on their court, they don't know what's going on, because I think they look at numbers and not emotions.
Right.
I think so. When the internet collectively got together and said Mr. Beast should do one, which does two things: one, it gets us a rewind, and two, it admits to everybody that Mr. Beast is pretty good.
Yeah,
he's a pretty good barometer of the internet.
He just hit 50 million subscribers.
I saw that. That's really good. That's only 49 to go, Jess.
Right.
Imagine that. Imagine doing that, and then 49. Oh my gosh. So I didn't hear anything about it, and we were going to talk about this a few weeks ago, but I was sick. He did the rewind.
He did it.
He did the rewind, and I just watched it now before we podcasted it. What'd you think?
I thought, for how short of amount of time he had to do it and get it ready, I thought he did a pretty good job.
It was rushed.
It was very rushed. You could tell it was very rushed. But, I mean, what do you expect? He literally found out he was going to have to do this just a couple of weeks ago and was like, all right, I'll do it.
Just to sit there and acquire all the footages, to right-click, to download, to send. Where do you go where it doesn't lose quality? How do I get it to you from A to B? That's weeks of
and stuff. It's not like he was doing a rewind like YouTube's done rewind, where it's a bunch of people that are in person. This is, it's the COVID era. So... Right. It is, send me a clip of this. I need a clip of this. How many times you got to go back and go, it wasn't just right. I need you to go back and do this again, or say this again, or do it this way. Or it looked like a lot of what they did was sent the creators, at least for some of it, they sent the creators probably like a list of questions to answer. And then they recorded their answers, and then they used what they could from that and kind of threw it together. Like, that's what I felt like. I felt like they were probably like, answer these 10 questions. And then they probably went through all of that footage and went, this was a good one. We really like this. This was this goes here. And I cannot even imagine the amount of time and effort that was spent on that to get that done and pulled off.
And it's not like all the creators were jumping to it on the other side. I'm sure there's a lot of, come on, send it to me. You got to get it by this date. Get it up by this date, So, okay, no, keep going. What else do you think? I don't want to cut you. I don't want to interrupt with my...
I do compare... I feel like it felt more creator-centric than the ones that YouTube has done in the past. I feel like he tried really hard to be inclusive about a lot of things.
And there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things.
Yeah. He even admitted at the end, there wasn't a lot of, overseas stuff that happened because he doesn't speak different languages. So it's kind of hard for him to include a lot of the popular creators that aren't English-speaking creators. And he even admitted that in it. He was like, this didn't happen because of this. So, like, I liked that he was honest about that. I liked at the end how he randomly picked a couple of people.
Yeah, I like that too.
Do you know all of those people have over 100,000 subscribers now?
I was wondering because all of them had under 2,000 subscribs. They all had barely over 1,000 subscribers. That is amazing.
They all have over 100,000 subscribers.
I saw that, and he's got the power. He's got the power. I don't know what kind of quality of subscribers you're going to get, but some will stick around. It's enough to let you make a move.
And that was the thing. We had a conversation the other day that was going in one of the groups I was in because somebody was like, would you rather have a shout out for Mr. Beast or actually earn your subscribers? And the reality of it is you may get a shout out for Mr. Beast and you may get 100,000 people that click subscribe, but you still have to earn those people. The 100,000, it's nothing. It's a number. That's it. Those people aren't going to stick around if you don't offer them a reason to stick around. They're not going to watch your videos if you don't offer them. So you still have to prove to them that you can do.
True. Mr. Beast puts butts in seats. Ooh.
Yes.
But what are you going to do when you're on the stage?
Exactly. So
I had that with you a little bit. The very first time we hung out at VidCon, I had 300 subscribers and I left with 1,500 maybe or so.
Yeah. Yep.
And they all, for the most part, stuck around. But like, I couldn't, like, without like providing some sort of like stable content, they would have just left or not cared. The answer for me is if it was at the same time, if I could grow it, I would rather grow because of the quality of people you get. But I would love a Mr. Boost Beast. That would allow you to make a move.
Right.
Make a move. Right. Like, where do you want to go with this or that? Do you want to monetize another channel? It would be nice to get a shout out from him, but you also have to just, know that that's from his bullpen and all his people that watch him. Like, what, so I don't know. Would you want a shout out from Mr. Beast?
I think that even though our niche isn't the same, I think the type of people that watch Mr. Beast content, I think a lot of them are just the type of people that want to watch stuff that's entertaining. And I feel like everybody loves pets. So I feel like if it was us, and I feel like if it was our channel, I feel like we could get a lot of those people to stick around.
Right.
Just because, it's who doesn't like cute animals? Like, who doesn't like... Buy
a dog and you'll get a K. If free 1,000. Want to get 1,000 subscribers? Get a dog!
Right?
10,000? Get a dog! It was good. He did try to shove so much stuff in there. There was a 2 or 3 minute section where I was like, oh my gosh, this reminds me of old YouTube when he was showing all the things, and then whatever, he talked to Logan Paul and he did some other things, but he did do a couple things. He showed everybody that got 10 million on YouTube, which was over 600 people?
Yeah, I think just over 600
Not bad. People. But the amount of people that got 1 million this year was over 6,000.
Yeah.
And you were one of them.
We were one of them.
Yeah, so Mr. Beast shows a spreadsheet list.
Yeah.
First of all, when he did that, there's one section where the videos kept pulling out and it kept getting smaller and smaller, and I was looking for you on there. I was like, oh, maybe he showed everybody on there. But he did it on the spreadsheet. Did you find your name?
No, I didn't.
Did you pause and pause and pause and look and pause?
No.
I'm sure you're on there.
Probably.
I'm
we
sure you're
hit 1 million.
Maybe somebody can find that still a shot and screenshot that. So I enjoyed it. You could tell it was rushed, and you could tell at the end it was just kind of trailing a little bit. Like, I don't know what to do. But hey, better than no rewind. And he did a lot of things. There was a lot of things that I forgot. I can't believe how many people like Mark Rober. Mark Rober.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes. I did watch his
with the squirrel and the glitter bomb 3.0.
I have no idea about the squirrel until I saw the rewind, but the glitter bomb 3.0
the squirrels was amazing.
I don't know about the squirrels, but the squirrels were doing parkour.
Yes, it was so great. The squirrels were stealing the bird food, so he decided to make a squirrel-proof bird feeder, which turned into seeing how many things he could actually get. You have to go watch the whole thing. It's so amazing.
I don't know how they have time to do all this stuff.
Right.
That glitter bomb 3.0, that's a year work. Like,
Mark Rober was a engineer at NASA.
Yeah.
And then he went from being an engineer at NASA to working for Apple in their research and development department. That was what he did.
Nice.
And then I think it was like maybe last year, he left Apple because his YouTube stuff, he only puts out one video a month. And he left Apple because he was doing so much with his YouTube channel, he just really didn't have the time to do both. Because he wants to do more with his YouTube channel, so he left Apple. But he started off, he was an engineer at NASA, and then he worked for Apple in their research and development, and then
that's pretty cool. You could see his confidence of like, oh, stuff.
Yeah, he's a very smart person.
But I like him.
He makes science fun, and
right.
Like teachers actually use his videos in classes to teach kids science. Like That's
cool.
so crazy. Yeah, he makes science fun.
That's cool. I actually had somebody message us once and say that they use our podcast to help with English class.
That's
And,
so cool.
and I think in Russia.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think anybody. So there's people out there potentially that could be speaking Dan. Yeah, speaking like me. So
Right.
anyway, to wrap up the rewind, I thought it was fun. It was better than nothing. He did well. I don't know any of the feedback. I don't know any of the stuff or what people said, if they were happy or not happy.
Yeah, I think a lot of people really liked it. Everybody that the comments were really good on it. I think most people that I heard from liked it. I liked it.
Yeah. So way to go, Mr. Beast. Maybe one day you'll make the rewind. Maybe YouTube will take a cue and start letting some of these top creators get together and make the rewind.
Right.
Yeah, I don't want a guy in a suit and tie to make the rewinds.
Yeah.
I agree. Will Smith should not be in the rewinds at all. So just before we wrap it up, I had one more thing to ask you. I noticed you've been using your left hand today to point around and talk on the video version of the podcast. If you guys are listening to this, you guys can see the video version on youtube.com/RFS. /CC Mouse Podcast. Oh my gosh. CC Mouse Podcast used to stand for Country Mouse City Mouse Podcast, but now it's Country Mouse COVID Mouse Podcast.
Right.
That's the new CC Mouse. But Jess, how is that card writing going? Are you not using your right hand because it's busy? It's busy underneath the table out there writing cards still.
This is my pen.
That's not the first pen, right?
No, I think this is the third or fourth. I have this many.
Wow, they'll all be gone, huh?
There's quite a few missing in the back already, but yeah, that's my pens.
So for the last 2 weeks,
Stamps galore.
I've been down and out. Jess has been sending me pictures of what I thought was a side job that you got at the post office because you were around so much mail. It was just stacks of it. And I asked Jess, I was like, are you signing more this year than last year? Yep.
600 total have gone out already.
Wow.
And I'm not done. I'm not done.
That's a few hundred more than last year.
I think last year, for some reason, the 435 sticks in my head. And I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm pretty sure it was somewhere around there last year. I have it written down somewhere. But it is more than... I've never hit 600. 600 is the most ever that we have sent back out.
Good job. You're hanging in there.
Yeah, we've been trying to do... I tried to do a little at a time, but then... things happen and then we skip a day and then it's like, okay, it's January 5th. These should all be gone. But to be fair, I did extend the deadline this year because of COVID and stuff like that. I wanted to make sure that people were able to get their cards to us. And I knew that things were a little crazy this year. Normally we ask people to have them to us by Christmas. December 24th is the last postmark date that we accept them. This year I said December 31st. Was the last postmark date that I would accept them.
So in theory, there's still another batch waiting for you.
What they should be, it'll be anything overseas by now. Pretty much anything else should be here by now. I went to the post office today and there was 4 cards in the mail. Where I went to the post office, pretty much every day last week and got a bucket of stuff.
Yep.
So yeah. But
good job, Jess.
I haven't opened any of the packages yet. I always save that till last. So I have a pile of packages taller than me sitting over here. And then I have one more box, half a box of cards to go through.
You're hardcore, Jess. I appreciate you doing that, though.
I watched a lot of TV.
Yeah, I bet. I watched your hand fall off.
Yeah.
No, it's all just crumbled into nothing.
Right. It's, every year I think I'm not going to do it. And then every year I'm like, I'm doing it. And
yes.
as much work as it is the one thing that we really do every year that we can give back to everybody for watching and everything. So I don't know. It's a lot of work and we're crazy for doing it, but I've been sitting turned this way and working on my desk and Jamie sits over here. 'Cause I write all the addresses. And then Jamie takes... That's different cards. Jamie takes and... where is it? This thing. We got this really cool thing.
Oh, the stamp. Yeah.
So,
it took you 10 years to get it.
No. This is for... you can't really tell because it's yellow.
Oh, right. Oh,
this has water in it.
That's the slicky part.
Yep. And so we take this and you flip it over and the sponge gets wet and you go... And you put it on the envelope and you close the envelope. So Jamie's job is to stick the cards in the envelope, close the envelopes, and then make sure they have a stamp on them. Because most people send a stamp. So as I'm opening, I have to open the cards, and I have this really cool thing to open cards with.
Ooh, I need one of
Don't
those.
cut yourself. Don't cut yourself with it. So I open the cards, take the cards out. I put the cards in a box because I have to go through them all on a live stream. If there's anything like that'll fall out, I try to make sure if it's going to be shown on the stream, I keep it with the cards. But then if there's a stamp in the card, I put that stamp on the envelope because it's just easy. If there's not a stamp, I have extra stamps. So I try to put at least the stamps on everything before it goes to Jamie's desk or area where he puts the cards in, he closes them, and then he puts them in the box and we ship them out. No, I did have a stamp though. I don't know where the heck it went.
I was pretty stoked today. This year was the first year that people that sent me stuff sent stamps.
Oh, right.
Right. And people would send they'd send like a handful of stamps. I'm like, oh, thank you so much. Oh, yeah. I like that.
Yeah. So that's it's bigger. So was only supposed to be 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches, but it's 2 inches by 2 inches because the company that I get my rubber stamps from, I've bought stuff from them for years. Rubberstamps.net, I think is their website. They're the ones that made my paw print potograph stamps, which I'm getting new ones of those made this year. I'm hopefully working on that next week. And then we're going to do some new Patreon stuff where one of the Patreon rewards is going to be an 8x10 photo that's potographed.
Ooh, that would be awesome.
So that's in the works. But anyway, the company that I buy these from, I didn't realize at the end of October, their whole entire business burned down. Yeah.
Whoa, you guys can't hear at home, but I'm making what the heck face. Wow, really? Okay.
Yeah.
That's
so
a lot of wood in there.
Their whole business burned down, and they just reopened right before Christmas, but a lot of the stuff it still isn't in stock. So I wanted this in a 1.5 inch, but they didn't have it. They only had it in a 2 inch, and I wrote them an email, and I'm like, I don't care. I saw your story. I'm like, I'm buying it anyway. So I bought it, and I bought other stuff too because I was like, hey, I
like it. If you guys can't see this, it's a big stamp that looks like a foreclosure stamp. It's all boom, boom. It looks like a heavy stamp. Oh yeah, no, it looks good.
So that's what it looks like when it comes out. So, yeah, it's nice. I had the handle put on it because I wanted to make sure I had the handle put on it. And I got blue ink. I got a blue ink pad for it. So,
yeah,
but it's got like a nice rounded handle.
I'm glad because that saves like a lot of the work.
Yeah, and you hear it hit the stamp pad. I had one that was a auto inking.
Oh, yeah.
These are junk. They're junk. Even though you can refill them, they're junk. I don't like them. I like the old-fashioned ones better.
Yeah, and having that stamp handle is fun too. Boom, boom.
Yes, I've done that over 300 times. Now I got to do it 100 more times tonight because I got 100 more cards to get ready.
I know you're so good for doing it, and I've picked up your habit, so I like make sure that all the stuff I get, everybody gets something back. I take the time because I learned it from you. Like, oh, you do that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. For a while, I used to do it for anybody that sent anything to the P.O. box, like not just the Christmas stuff. But then it just got to be crazy.
At that scale. I'm still at that scale. Anybody that sends me anything gets something back. But I've been with you a few times to the post office. It's like truckloads, so I get that.
Yeah.
Well, and with that, we're back in business, Jess. Yay! New year, new podcasts, new fun.
New background?
New backgrounds, yes. I like it.
New lights?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we're jamming again, guys. We're back. Back again. Yes. All right, anything else before we go? Let's just get out of here.
I'm going to go make hamburgers, and I bet you're going to crash.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to edit and crash, for sure.
Edit and then crash, or crash and then edit? Oh, hey, Mooch.
I'm not so sure which. Yeah, what's up, dude? We're podcasting here, and he's like making puke face, and I'm trying to shove him off to the floor. So sorry. Yeah, he's gonna come lay down on my lap now, and that's it. He'll just stay there while I work. I can't put mouse on my lap. That thing's big. He's like a small goat.
Right? A small goat.
Yeah. We'll tell the story. We'll tell the ballad of Mr. Mouse next week. He's just out of control. So. All right, I'm going to wrap it up here. That'll do it for this week's episode of the CC Mouse Podcast. Listen to us every Wednesday on your favorite music app. See the video version of us at CC Mouse Podcast on YouTube. Rep our merch at ccmousepodcast.shop, and we'll see you guys later. Same mouse time, same mouse podcast. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Yay.
Hey, guess what? We did a thing.
Happy 2021, everybody.
Yay.
See you next week.
Bye.